Today's question is about how your past influences your actions and your behaviors and your parenting today. You may want quick fixes for behavior challenges that seem unacceptable or intolerable. You may be tempted to lay all of the responsibility for change on your child. I know that you try, that you want to be peaceful, but those kids of yours, they're just so... No, it's not your kids. It's just that your unconscious mind is reacting based on some very old habits and patterns. You've written the scripts, you've filed them away for easy recall, and you've carried them through with you from childhood. What does that really mean? It means that whatever emotional patterns you engaged in with your primary caregivers during those early years,
they're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together ooky, the Addams Family. Their house is a museum. When people come to see them, they really are a scream. The Addams Family.
Neat. Sweet.
And in subsequent key relationships later, are directing your behaviors now without your permission and in many cases without your knowledge. This means that what you didn't get from your parents or your caregivers is what you will seek in others. Did you feel heard or understood or respected by your parents? If you did, then you probably can manage your anger in situations without overpowering people. And if you didn't, when those basic needs for consideration or understanding or respect or go unmet, and your children push just those right buttons, you react unconsciously with less patience and with a reduced capacity. You might start justifying your actions or your emotions or demanding or forcing others to act in ways that allow you to control the feelings and the input and the sensations that are coming at you. The problem is that it's unreliable and unreasonable to depend on anyone or anything to make you feel in a certain way or to meet your needs. So, in order to break free of the situation, we need to get clear and take some actionable steps in a few areas. The first thing I want you to do is name your biggest reactive habit. Do you feel neglected, disrespected, abused, unheard? You can't change what you don't acknowledge, so make a list of the 3 biggest needs that seem to go unmet when you are triggered. So for example, do you get red in the face or tight in the chest when your 5-year-old says, "I'm not listening to you"? Acknowledge it. My number 1 biggest trigger is feeling unheard. And then what I want you to do is set an intention for change. Nothing changes without action. My feelings are important. They are recognized, they are validated, and I am committed to being an active listener. Start your day there. If you felt like you didn't have a voice or a say in things growing up, you may be unconsciously using your voice, tone, or attitude now to convey what was missing then. Because finally you can express what you would like without anyone scolding you or telling you otherwise or demanding that you change. Now you are in control. Except that unless you interrupt that pattern now, you're setting the stage for your own children to repeat it. So set your intention for change and then make it a daily practice to affirm these new beliefs so that you can rewire your brain for new experiences. Next, I want you to be the change. Can you acknowledge when you overpower or talk too much or demand without considering others? Say to your child, "I'm speaking and you're not responding. I don't understand. You must feel like I'm not hearing you, so you want me to know that you're not going to listen to me either. That must feel pretty frustrating. I'm willing to wait so that you can be heard, because I know what it's like to want to feel heard." When you commit to being the change now, the change that you needed then, you are able to break the habits and patterns of the past and feel less offended by your child who is just being a child. And you can actually teach your child a positive skill for coping when they don't feel heard, which is compassion for another person. My next tip is for you to meet your own needs. Childhood wounds and dysfunctional family dynamics can invade your most precious relationships when you unconsciously rely on your children to fulfill your needs. You may say, "Stop it, you're making me so angry," or "I'll speak to you when you can speak to me respectfully." All that does is blame someone else for their inability to act according to your plan. But this is not a sustainable action. This is passing the buck. And kids pick up on this technique really quickly. You may hear them they'll say something like, "She made me do it. I didn't mean it, but if she wouldn't do this, then I wouldn't do that." No, we don't want our behaviors and our emotions to be governed by the actions and decisions of other people. And that goes for you too. Depending on your kids to act and behave so that you can stay in your preferred emotional state is the real unreasonable request. So meet your needs, get support, exercise, meet a friend, go on a date, work on healing your past, go out for a drink, whatever you need to fill up your emotional cup so that you won't rely on your child's behavior as a measure of your mood. And finally, let go of the past, but not the pointers. Letting go of the past and changing reactive habits doesn't mean that you should be permissive or act like a doormat or not give your kids the tools to develop better skills. We know that demanding behavior doesn't do anything. It just separates us to the point where the learning is lost in fear and shame. But ignoring it isn't the answer either. So let go of the past, but keep the pointers and problem solve with your kids using words like, you use some very strong words that aren't part of the language that we agree to in this family. I imagine that's because you're feeling angry right now. Let's take some time to calm down. I know you have a desire to express yourself and share your thoughts, and I know that you would do it differently if you were feeling less stressed. Here are some tools to help you do that. This is important to me. I have a need to be respected, and I know that you do too. I'm wondering what could have been done differently. When you problem solve instead of lecturing, you build social emotional intelligence, and this allows kids to reflect on their behavior within the context of a safe and loving relationship. You're going to lose a lot of intimate connection time and long-term learning opportunities if you choose to be offended rather than embrace those negative behaviors and challenges and transforming them with gentle responses and compassionate direction. Look, I'm not asking you to coddle your children or to give in to demands or to be indulgent when their behaviors are unacceptable. I'm only asking you to recognize that we are all doing the best that we can in any given moment, and to please show your kids that same respect that you may not have been given when you were a child, so that they don't have to grow up and relearn for themselves how to soothe their strong emotions and meet their needs without relying on other people or external motivators. This is sustainable parenting. All right, that was my teachable moment for you. And now I would love to hear from you because your stories and your comments are so inspiring to me and to others in our community that I want to hear from you. So tell me, what is your biggest reactive habit or trigger point? Leave me a note and share your wounded spot with me in the comments below, because you never know when your story might just inspire someone else towards the change that they were looking for. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want more video trainings like this and special events that are only available to members on my email list, please subscribe and get on over to teachthroughlove.com and get on my email list and subscribe right here on YouTube. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it and share it on your favorite social media site, because when you share the love, you spread the love. Until next time, everybody, please remember it's about consciousness, not perfection.